All right, man. Well, I appreciate you taking the time out of your day, man, or the evening, so we can go live and talk some wrestling and just general chit chat.
Yeah, man.
Um, so before we went live, you were talking about there in the great state of, is it Texas?
Yes, sir.
The great state of Texas, where freedom still reigns.
Mhm.
Uh, you were going to be going to a local wrestling event in the near future.
Yes, sir.
So I'm interested to hear a little bit about that. You had said there's going to be quite a few guys and gals showing up at this event. So
Yes,
um,
sir.
yeah, is there going to be like a meet and greet and all that? Is it going to be a whole thing?
There is the only man. The only thing though is that that's just slightly out of the price range.
Uh,
So with that going on, and I'll be honest, man, like I don't know what it is. I guess since the pandemic is kind of over with, all of my favorite bands are like going on tour, like, and all their tickets have been going on sale within like days of each other. And so it's like, you know, do I want to do this or do I want to do that? So I've been
sure.
selling everything that I can on eBay, still doing that, and then um, I've been getting concert tickets and going to this wrestling show. I'm going with Little Man, so we're going to be out there in the general admission. But we got to go see Gino Medina, man. He's he was in MLW,
Yeah.
and he is the boyfriend of NXT Women's Champion Roxanne Perez. So,
Oh yeah.
and he
Uh,
does do training out there from time to time for the NXT guys.
there's a car show I go to and outside of Indianapolis, and this guy's a Roxanne Perez super collector, and
Yeah,
he was showing me all her cards. I didn't know much about her, but he
yeah,
was like showing me all these one of ones and these like autographs he's collected. And I know she's relatively new on the scene, at least
yeah,
with WWE she is.
yep,
And I mean, he was just going through all this stuff, and I was like, man, I think you might have every single one of her cards already, dude. It was just like outstanding. So I
yeah.
know that she's supposedly a pretty big deal, or like a lot of people have a lot of high hopes for her.
Yeah, and I mean she just turned 21.
Right.
She beat Mandy Rose for the title, and then Mandy Rose was like gone for the next day.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, she's doing her OnlyFans or
hey,
whatever.
good for her, man. Good
Yeah,
for
sure.
her. Make
I mean,
that
that's
money
the
while
thing.
you can.
I mean, that's exactly because when it comes to those kind of things, you don't, that doesn't last forever.
Hey,
So,
man, I'm telling you, Thursday nights at La Bear here on Amateur Night, getting few and far in between. You know,
right.
but
Hey, what up, Scott? But that's
lucky if
just,
you make $6 for
yeah.
enough gas to get home.
So, what are who are some of the wrestlers that are going to be in town for that event? I know you said that quite a few of the promotions are going to be represented with some of their talent. So, who are some of the people?
Yeah, so we've got Fuego Del Sol. He's going to be there. Shane Taylor, um, Gina Medina, of course. Uh, we've got golly, there was another AEW guy. I just cannot think of his name right now. Um, there's just so many, man. But it's dfwwrestling.com, I believe, is the website.
Okay,
You can kind of see who's there. But uh, AEW, there's going to be like some GCW guys that were in MLW.
you said Ring of
Um,
Honor might be a couple people there from Ring of Honor.
yes, there are. Khan
Con,
is going to be there. Um,
Con,
I know,
not
right?
Tony Khan though.
Every time he walks by, I would do that stuff to him.
Yes.
But man, there's also one guy. So there's a tag team there called the Rascals. I can't remember one of the guys' name, but the other guy is Myron Reed.
Oh
Myron
yeah.
Reed was an Injustice and MLW, and he would wear like that bulletproof vest or whatever.
Yeah.
That guy, man, that was worth the price alone to me because that guy, I've seen him, just light it up on TV, and I've seen him light it up in person. That dude he's got the it factor that people talk about. So,
Yeah.
I was really excited to not only see Gino, but to go see Myron, man, because that
Sure.
right there, the price alone, totally worth it. So,
That's awesome.
yeah, man.
Yeah, it's there's a couple conventions that bring in wrestlers throughout the year here in Indy area, in Indianapolis area. And usually what happens is, and I guess this is common, is I'm still kind of new to the whole scene, but when it comes to like events, because I usually just watch it online or on TV or whatever.
Right.
But they'll do like a big autograph show and bring in a bunch of talent. But then in the evenings, they have matches for the talent they bring in. So they'll have some like local homegrown talent or like regional talent come in. And then they get some of the bigger names that come in, like, do a couple spots on, there and just kind of, get that extra money, like DiBiase always said, everybody has a prize. So they get a little bit extra they get a little extra cheese on there. So it's always pretty fun to see because you'll have, I don't want to say like these, jabronis or whatever, but they're like taking on some like, notable talent and they're just there to kind of put them over and stuff. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah. It's so funny because like here in Texas, we're about to have something like that, but in reverse. So instead of it being a Comic-Con, there's a big giant RV show right around the corner at AT&T Stadium, March 9th through the 12th. And the two big guests that were announced. The first one, since it's at AT&T Stadium, you got to have a Cowboy legend, right? They're bringing in Michael Irvin.
Wow, that's going to be huge.
I don't know if he's going to show or not, but
yeah, that's true.
But with everything going on, but then the second one was announced, and he can't stay out of the spotlight. And I don't know if he's unretired again, but none other than I got a picture of him. Hold on,
let's take a look.
This guy right here, I think his name is Richard Fleer. Richard Fleer.
Richard Fleer. Yeah. Yeah.
So Ric Flair's going to be there signing, man. So I don't know if it's going to be something where like he charges or something like that. But to get into the event, it's free, and to park there is free because there's no way I'm spending $80 to park somewhere whenever I could just walk there.
Oh, sure, of course.
So that's going to be kind of exciting. And another cool thing too, I wanted to mention real quick. I've got a buddy, and I know I've shown this in a video before, but I've got a lot of cards and stuff. And my buddy who wrestled has a card here. I'm going to show it off. I got him to sign it for me. His name is Seshai.
Okay, I think I do. I don't remember you seeing that card, but I remember you mentioning him. I think in the past.
Yeah. So I've known him for probably 15 years now. We kind of bonded at a Halloween party because I was dressed as Hulk Hogan, and he was like, dude, that's awesome, man. I'm actually a wrestler. And that's when I got into all the independent wrestling stuff.
Yeah.
And this Saturday, he's getting inducted into the Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame here in Texas.
That's awesome. That's so cool.
So he wrestled for 18 years, and he's wrestled people from Al Snow to Bushwhacker Luke at shows. He got to be at, I think, the very last show that Gentleman Chris Adams was wrestling at, got to be a part of. So, a little bit of world-class championship wrestling, whenever he was starting out. And he's been in the locker room with guys like Bret Hart, and he actually got to be a tag team partner one time with beautiful Bobby Eaton.
Really?
Yes.
That's pretty awesome.
A show like in West Texas or something, many years ago.
Right.
But it's so exciting to hear him talk about some of these stories and like some of the people that he's wrestled and some of the titles that he's held.
Sure.
So if you look up Seshai like on Google, you will see like Wiki Wrestling fandom and stuff, and there's a bunch of pictures on there, and like some of the titles and stuff that he's held. And I even saw he had a tag team title from the Impact Zone, which was kind of interesting because I think they were kind of starting out here back in the day too. So very, very interesting, man. And he's a little embarrassed to talk about some of the wrestling stuff, these days or whatever. But I'm super proud of him. So I drew a picture and everything that on a poster board I'm going to be holding up and kind of be that mark one last time for him.
Oh, that's awesome, dude. I'm sure he'll appreciate that because that's so cool, for sure.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
Scott said, and I agree, Scott. Beautiful Bobby Eaton was underrated.
Dude,
For
had
sure.
probably had the best flying knee off the top rope
Yeah,
ever.
he was
And he made it look so seamless too. That was the great thing about him. So,
right for sure.
man, while we're talking about like some cards and stuff, I actually have some cards I wanted to show off if that was
All
cool
right,
while we're
so let's
talking
take a
about
gander.
wrestling. So we're talking about years ago, got to go to a meeting with this gentleman right here, Jim Cornette.
Yeah, oh
This,
yeah.
this is all that I had at the time. But one of my favorite matches of all time was the Night of the Skywalkers, when it was, uh, the Midnight Express versus the Road Warriors. And so I was like, man, could probably get somebody to sign the back of it. So years ago, I actually called this dude on the phone and I asked him if I could send it to him. And that's Precious Paul Ellering. So I got
That's
him to sign
awesome.
that. One of one. One of one.
One of one. Well, that's all that matters is those one of ones.
Yeah. And there was somebody I saw in your video the other day that you were talking about that was a complete monster. And because he was a complete monster, now he's kind of not a monster anymore in AEW. And do you know who I'm talking about?
Lance Archer.
Dallas's own, man.
Yeah. Lance Archer. Let me see. I think I might. I think I will. Let's see here. I think I have something here. Oh no, I guess I don't. I guess I already put it up. I have something very similar to that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's awesome, dude.
I'll tell you what though, man, he is one heck of a nice guy though.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but good things about him in real life. As like, well, I was worried. I'm sure you had heard when he did that what was backflip or whatever he did, or some kind of off the top rope about a year and a half ago, and he landed right on his neck. Kind of he kind of did the Brock Lesnar, and I was like, oh no, dude. I'm like, I was so scared, but he said he won't be doing that anymore. But luckily, he's okay. But I remember watching that match and going, oh shoot, like that's the end right there.
Yeah, and that's the way to do it too, man.
Yeah.
Just absolute craziness.
Dr. Exclusive said, while you're looking that up, he said Ric Flair signed in Toronto a couple years ago. He charged for photo ops and charged extra if you wanted him to put on the rope for pictures.
Wow.
So, yeah, I've heard that listen, the guy's like what, 70-something years old now.
Yeah. And I've already got him to where he signed a baseball for me a while back, and
yeah,
I'm happy with that. But
sure.
I think it's kind of interesting, since WrestleMania was there last year, he's just trying to get up that glory, just
of course, one more time. Because why not, right? That's just like that's the thinking. Here's my new crush right here.
Okay. Asuka?
No, not Asuka. Ember Moon.
Oh Athena. Yeah, Athena.
Yeah, Dallas, Texas, baby.
Yeah, man. She my buddy Noel actually wrestled her in a match.
Oh, really?
She was coming up. She was still training at Booker T's Reality of Wrestling school, and he was in an intergender match with her. And man, yeah, she's a very, very sweet lady from what I hear.
Yeah,
I actually got her TTM like as soon as she went to NXT. I had heard about it because I had just missed her at her last independent show here, and she signed a picture for me. If I can find it.
That's awesome.
I've got all kinds of pictures of everybody.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of her. She's like my new. I mean, I knew about her obviously for a while when she was in NXT, but now that she's at AEW, I'm all about that life.
Yeah, there's Eva Marie.
She left again. She was let go. Like she came back and then they let her go like a month later. It felt like.
Oh man. It's like, yeah, we screwed up. This one I never got to show off, man. The Fantastics.
Oh wow, there you go.
Yeah, Bobby Fulton and Tommy Rogers.
Oh, Tommy Rogers.
Man, dude, those guys were pretty freaking awesome too. It was so weird because now that I look back at it, in the 80s when wrestling was such a hotbed here in the DFW area, And you got these guys coming out in like glitter vests and bow ties and stuff, and it's like this is a freaking Chippendale show.
Yeah.
Like 7, 8. I'm like 7 and 8 years old, not even realizing I'm like, man, these guys pull a lot of chicks, and they sure
Yeah.
do, man. But
That's definitely why Scott watches the shows. I know he's a big fan of greased up dudes with bow ties
hey, man, and the speedos too.
and speedos. Nice.
Jimmy Garvin and Precious.
Jimmy Garvin and Precious. There it is.
Dude, Precious was hot too, man. Back
Yeah.
in the day. Let me see here. I've got.
I'm a big fan of let's see, like I'm trying to think of some of the girls that were kind of popular, man. Was it Ivory?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I liked her. And of course Lita for sure. We're talking like, Attitude Era, stuff. But I mean, for me now, Ruby Soho is my girl, and Athena, aka Ember Moon, I guess. I'm trying to think of some other ones, but those two right now are like my two go-tos. Oh, I also like Jamie Hayter.
Yeah.
Now, who was that? They look familiar.
They're called the Vikings or whatever now in WWE.
Oh yeah, that's like yeah.
That's
Viking Raiders.
Yeah, that's back when they were called War Machine.
Okay.
I met Ray Rowe, and then his tag team partner I got through the mail NXT Success.
Oh, that's awesome. Is that Ivar?
And then I got this autograph picture from Bill Apter when WrestleMania first came here. He had a booth that he was selling like autograph pictures and like old Pro Wrestling Illustrated magazines and stuff. And it didn't come with a certificate of authenticity or anything. I was like, it's from freaking Bill Apter. I know it's real.
Right. Hey, what's up? What up, Hitman? Yeah, Hitman said, hey, you marks. Yeah, you better believe it. I'm a mark. I'll be the first one to admit. And Scott said, hell yeah. Hell yeah. He laughed. He goes, love Jimmy Garvin. Yeah, who doesn't love Jimmy Garvin all oiled up?
I wonder if Scott sent TTM to him yet.
Oh, there you go. There you go, Scott. You TTM him, dude?
Yeah, I TTM'd him a while back, and from what I understand, the address still works. He's a pilot now, so
really interesting.
Yeah.
Always learning. # always learning.
Yep.
Oh, that's awesome, dude.
This is one of my favorite lady wrestlers right here.
Let's take a look here. I'm gonna put a solo layout so we can see it. Oh, Alexa Bliss.
Yep.
Yeah, I think she's taking a step back. I heard from WWE after what's the word I'm looking for? After the was it Elimination Chamber or whatever Royal Rumble match. She's taking a step back for a while, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's probably a good thing because I guess just time just kind of flew with her. Because I remember just watching her in NXT, and I was like, she's too little, thinking like, I don't know if she's built for this. But then I found out she's a bodybuilder and this and that, and it was kind of crazy, man. That Bowling for Soup video was filmed. That Alexa Bliss song was filmed at the MPX arena or the MPX wrestling place that we go to a lot for the independent shows where Athena used to wrestle all the time. The last time we were there, she made like a 10-second appearance because her husband was wrestling in a match and he was going to wrestle two people or whatever. And he said, my wife's not going to let me wrestle tonight, this and that. And then all of a sudden the lights went dark. She ran out there and jumped off the top rope and like did a Randy Orton thing to one of the guys and then ran out. And it was like, golly, man, that probably cost some money to have her there.
That's awesome.
Short amount of time.
Who's her husband? Is he a wrestler also then?
Yeah.
But he's like an independent guy. He's not known.
I mean, I don't know, man. I think with a lot of the guys, you have to have that, what they call the it factor. You can just tell with guys if they ooze personality,
right.
If they've got mic skills, if they've got like everything that it takes to be a freaking talent,
right, like LA Knight.
Yeah.
He's that dude, man. He's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, Doctor Exclusive wanted to know, Gary, what are the concerts you're wanting to go see that are coming to town that you said that you had to like make some decisions on?
Oh my God! So I already made the decisions. That's the thing. So coming up here in a couple of weeks, I've got tickets to go see New Order, which that show is sold out in Dallas. My buddy, he got 2 tickets, and he said, "Man, the only other person I could think of to go with to go with me to the show would be you. Do you want to go?" I had to get permission from the wife.
Sure.
First things first, fellas, ask your wife.
Happy wife, happy life. I remember those days.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I've been wanting to see them for at least 30 years. So that'll be something off my bucket list. I don't think I'm going to be able to go see Everclear. I would like to see them again. I would like to see the Rob Zombie, Alice Cooper, and Ministry show.
Oh,
I don't think that's going to happen either, but that's okay. I've got tickets now to go see the Pixies. I'm taking.
Oh, really?
Taking my niece to go see the Pixies, and then about a week after, we are going to go to Dallas to go see Metric, Garbage, and Noel Gallagher's High Flying Birds. So
wow, that'd be a fun one.
Dude, Garbage is one of my favorite bands of all time.
Yeah, I love Garbage.
Yeah,
I love to root through it, and I also like to listen to it.
Yep.
So yeah, Shirley, is it Shirley Manson, right? The lead singer.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, she's awesome. I love it. Hitman just said, Mike just said that he's gonna go see Fozzy and with Ugly Kid Joe in a couple months. I'm gonna tell you, Mike, I'm gonna go see that exact same show around my house. I'm gonna go. I want to go. Let's be honest. I want to go see Fozzy just to see Chris Jericho and get a couple things autographed. I have a friend of mine who's a big Fozzy fan, and he said every time you go to a Fozzy show, if you pay for the backstage experience or whatever, so you pay the extra $20 or $50, Jericho will sign whatever you have if you bring. So I'm like, oh heck yeah! So who is that? Who is that? Hey. Who is it?
It's Chris Jericho.
Oh, is that Jericho? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What's up, Mangini? John Mangini. Nunchuck extraordinaire right here, dude. But I also like Ugly Kid Joe, so this is a win-win for me. So yeah, I'm excited. Nice. So I heard Jericho is pretty cool nowadays. Like he's a cool to have a good experience with. Did you have a good experience meeting him?
Yeah, to be honest with you, like he didn't appear to be stuck up or anything like that. He was like an hour and a half late to the signing anyways, and that's fine, whatever, Did you
put him in the Lion Tamer or whatever it's called?
Nah.
Or the Rings of Jericho?
No, but it was kind of funny because before he showed up, it was at kind of like in a ritzy town, kind of ritzy area.
Right.
Very fancy shoe store where he was doing the signing, and I guess the people, the store was coming out beforehand and asking people to cut a promo or something like that, and nobody wanted to do it, man. But I did, and I did with my wrestling buddy there. He was there with me,
nice.
and he was like, "Wow, man, okay, yeah, you kind of, yeah, you did your thing,
Nice.
So so whenever I got up to Jericho or whatever, the guy that was doing the interviewing or whatever is just like, man, this guy cut a promo out there, man. It's pretty freaking hilarious. And Jericho's like, really? And so yeah, I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, I've heard. I think things have changed. Maybe he's happier, and everybody has a bad day, or they might have a bad season in their life or whatever. But I had heard years ago, and I experienced it personally, that Jericho was like super short with people and wasn't like really personable. Yeah. And it was like between stints at WWF at the time or E, and he had like that 2005 and 2007 where he wasn't there or something like that. I can't remember. Either he was let go or he stepped away. And he did a horror convention in Indianapolis, and he just was like not a pleasant person to be around. But I think I've heard like good things moving forward. So like I said, I have a handful of Jericho things if I'm going to try to go to that show, because I get 2 concerts and get to meet Jericho. I mean, that's worth $50 or whatever. So I think I'm gonna try to get a few things autographed.
Yep.
And then Scott said when he met Jericho, he was also great. So good. I'm glad. Like I said, I always want to give everybody a second opportunity, a second chance, because at the end of the day, they're humans. We're all humans. People have a bad day. I don't want to completely write them off. Now, there's been some experience that I've had where not with Jericho, but with others that were just like no excuse. There were bad experiences and people just being complete dicks. But generally speaking, I want to give everybody a second chance to kind of what kind of experience was it? Is this a common thing or is this like a fluke?
Right.
But yeah, that's good, man. So, are you said before we went live, you said you haven't really been keeping up with a lot of wrestling. Is that correct?
Not a whole lot, man. Like I said, I've been kind of juggling with what I'm going to be doing. And one last thing I forgot to mention:
Sure.
the last concert I got tickets for. We're going to go see Depeche Mode in October.
Nice.
I'm a huge Depeche Mode fan.
Depeche Mode. I thought you were going to say Spice Girls, so I'm glad you said Depeche Mode. So I
do love Jerry Halliwell.
Yeah, who doesn't? Yes, indeed. But yeah, Depeche Mode. That'll be a great show as well. Like that's some straight up 80s and 90s as well too. So yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, you and I have very similar tastes in music, so that's good. Yeah, I'm a big fan. Here's the thing. I don't know how it is for you. And then my buddy, who I was telling you, who does like he's seen Fozzy like a dozen times. He's a big Slipknot fan, like the biggest Slipknot fan I've met. I mean, he has so many hard to find and rare items from Slipknot. He meets Corey Taylor and the guys every time they come like anywhere near Indiana. He does like a traveling thing with wherever they go. He goes like a lot of those huge festivals. But anyways, he always invites me to go to these shows. But I don't like doing outdoor events. I want to go indoors. I want to have a nice, cool, air-conditioned room where I'm sipping on my brewski, having like maybe some light snacks. I don't want to be in like 150-degree weather or raining cats and dogs, and I'm trying to have a good time. I just don't. And most of these big shows that he goes to or festivals, obviously, they're all outdoor. Right. So I'm just like, So
the Garbage and Noel Gallagher show is going to be outside, and that's fine, but it's in June, so it's not in August. It's going to be hot, but not like that really humid. Oh, and I got this for you too, man.
Oh, so that's Shirley Manson, right there.
Yeah, I did a painting of Shirley Manson, and it's hanging up in my garage. I did it back in '97.
Wow, you got it right when they were famous, like right when they're like still super white hot.
Yeah, they were opening up for Alanis Morissette at the time.
Really?
And, so I got to go backstage and got to talk with Butch Vig, the drummer, who's also the producer of Nirvana and many other great songs. So got to talk music with him, and I'm just a nerd, dude. Like, okay, so it goes from music to wrestling. Here's another picture, man. That's me, Davey Boy Smith, and Teddy Hart.
That is awesome. Oh my gosh, that is awesome.
Here's a picture of me and Ricky Morton having some drinks.
Yeah, I heard Ricky Morton's not hard to find when it comes to about bars.
Dude, I'm telling you, dude, he's like the dirty uncle that you never had.
Oh yeah, I heard some wild stories about him. So
oh yeah. And then outside that show, I met Dr. Tom Pritchard, who was coming in to the arena that day.
That's awesome.
Nobody knew who he was, and I saw him and I went, Dr. Tom? And he's like, yes, sir.
That's awesome.
Can I carry your bags for you?
Is he still I don't know if you saw, but he's been doing work with NWA recently, which I thought's been really cool.
Yeah. I can see that, he's got to rival his brother now.
Yeah. So Scott said he bought 6 to 10 signed CDs at the Fozzy concert, plus 3 set lists signed by the band. That's awesome, Scott. I've heard they sell a lot of that stuff at their booths or whatever. And again, my buddy Ryan, he does a lot of those things where he gets a ton of stuff signed or buys it from the booth, and he just pays the premium because he knows he can either keep it because he's a collector or use it as like trade bait to get things that he wants, like especially like I said, Slipknot stuff. Yeah. Hey, what up, Henry? Okay, so, once I got talked to baby Gramps, he was That's awesome.
So would you like to see probably the most craziest, probably most valuable photo autograph that I have?
Uh-oh, let's see it.
All right,
If you
I'm
want to
gonna
send
take
it to me,
out
I'll
of the
keep it
sleeve.
safe.
I'm gonna take it out of the sleeve here.
All right. Handle with care. Fragile. Oh, whoops.
Signed
I
photo.
want. Hold on. Is that a Von Erich?
Yeah, it's Kerry Von Erich.
Kerry Von Erich. Nice.
The Texas Tornado.
Hold on, wait. Is that autographed there
Yes.
by Kerry Von Erich?
Yes.
Wow. He autographed his brother's chest.
That's Steve Simpson.
Oh, okay.
And Steve Simpson and Sean Simpson.
Oh, okay.
They were great too, man. They were awesome. As a matter of fact, about 16 years ago, whenever I was on Facebook, I had messaged out to all the people that I followed that I was going to Billy Bob's that night to go see, oh gosh, George Thorogood and the Destroyers.
Oh.
And Steve Simpson showed up with his two boys and met up with us, dude. One of the coolest, nicest guys. Still looked like he could wrestle.
That's awesome.
On the back of this, though, this is the fun thing. On the back of this photo, it's also signed. And it's signed by gentleman Chris Adams.
I was gonna say that looks like Chris Adams' signature. And you have another one back here too, don't you?
Yes, sir. Do you know
that Chris Adams signature is amazing? That's really a good autograph.
Yes.
And who's it? Was that Percy Pringle?
Yep.
See, look at me, dude. I am like an autograph savant, man. Like as soon as I saw that, I was like, that was like Pringle's autograph.
Now, let me ask you though, Jason. So, who was Percy Pringle? Who did he become?
Oh, come on! I thought you were gonna give me a hard one. He was Paul Bearer, dude. Come on now.
Right. Yep, sure was.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, he actually was also manager for LA Knight back when he was Eli Drake for a while. So yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan. Oh, is that Kingston?
That's Swerve.
Oh, that's Swerve? Oh, I can see it better now. I'm a huge fan of Swerve Strickland too, man. Now that he's in AEW, dude, he's doing some great character work.
I got that about a month before he went to NXT.
Nice.
And he was super, super cool.
Yeah, I've heard good things about him. Hold on, wait.
That's before the soccer mom haircut.
Is that who is it? Is that AJ Styles?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that looks crazy.
I know, right? There's Mr. Shelty B.
Oh yeah. Shelty. He's in is he? I don't know. What was he in? What was that called? The something business. The
Hurting Business.
Yeah, Hurt Business or something. Yeah, with Bobby Lashley.
This guy right here just beat cancer.
Good.
Richard Holiday. I don't know if anybody saw that. If you're a fan of MLW, but he was in a tag team with MJF, Alexander Hammerstone, and Gina
Alexander Hammerstone's a legit dude, man. He's a monster.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's Michael Hayes.
Oh, Michael P. Is that PS, right? Michael P.S. Hayes.
Dude. And if you're an AEW fan, man, I got to show you this. So when the pandemic and all that stuff was going on, I wrote to Griff Garrison.
Nice. Oh, I got to look at this. Hold on. Can you put that back up? It's like a little better.
Yeah. Let me take out the letter and the picture here.
All right. Yeah, you do that, Holmes.
So I took a picture of my TV screen and printed it out because I was like, nobody's going to have this picture.
All right. That face of Griff is hilarious.
Yeah. Him about to take on MJF there.
Yeah.
And then I thought it was so cool, man. So I wrote him a letter. He wrote me back.
That is cool.
So it's pretty cool whenever you write to some of these people, man. And you hear something back or
he's
something for you. So
I don't know. I think he's left wrestling. He's gone off AEW, and I follow him on. I think we're friends on Facebook officially, like his real page. Yeah, and he's like stopped posting stuff. So I don't know like what's going on, but it's like disappointing to say the least because I like Griff Garrison.
He's a good dude, man.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Is that Ari Daivari? No, that's not Ari Daivari, is it? Who is that?
That's Kevin Von Erich's boys.
Oh, okay. They're on MLW too, aren't they?
Yes, sir. Ross and Marshall.
Okay, yeah. Now their dad's in Hawaii, right? That's where
Yeah.
they live.
Yeah. Oh, here's a fun one.
Oh, that's Michael or Brian Pillman Jr., right?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
He's
man
he's
with
he,
the,
he's teaming up now with Arn Anderson's son Brock, so that makes sense. Those are
yeah,
like the old WCW guys and stuff. Oh, Fuego,
tornado DDT.
yeah, right there, buddy.
This one's kind of dark, but that's me and Lance Archer.
Lance Archer, yes. Oh man, I love that Lance Archer, dude.
He's a dude. I'm telling you, man, one of the nicest guys.
He's like, and I mean, they ruined him, man. Him and Miro have been ruined by AEW. You have two legitimate monsters, and they just. Is that Bachwinkle?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Yep.
Did you meet him in person?
Nope.
So was that like an autograph you purchased secondary market then?
Yeah, because it had the JSA sticker,
Oh, sure.
and
I
I
would
was
say
like,
he passed
man,
away years ago. So how'd that happen?
yeah, it was right before he had passed away too, man. I was like, you know what? I would love to get a Nick Bockwinkel for my collection because even though World Class was real popular here in the '80s, and you had the WWF programming and stuff. The if you went to Toys R Us, they also had the AWA VHS tapes. So it was
Ah,
like, oh, this is new to us. So we started getting those tapes, got into it, and then I don't know. Are you into New Japan Pro Wrestling?
of course, dude.
All right. Well, I met this dude a while back, and I got him to sign this picture. But I think he's a new junior champion.
That's Saber Jr., right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Zack Saber Jr. Yep. Yeah, I think he has a lot of upside.
Yeah, he does, man. He's had a lot of upside.
Yeah.
This night, whenever I met him, that was probably the greatest match I've ever seen in my life. Do you know who he wrestled that night?
MJF.
No, but he is an AEW. He wrestled Sammy Guevara.
Who? Sammy Guevara?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Dude,
Scott's favorite guy. Scott's gonna end up having to go to the bathroom and run off because he heard us talk about Sammy Guevara, so he's gonna be all excited. That's his man crush. He's bringing up Sammy Guevara like in every video, man. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't stand Guevara, but it's funny. For me, he has like turn off the TV heat. I just can't do, man. Like,
but he did.
I liked him as a wrestler. If he never opened his mouth and he just went out there and just did his thing, I would be like, I would do the a press advance 10, 10.
Yes.
But yeah. Real quick, Scott said 20 each. Oh, we're talking about the CDs from Chris Jericho, 20 each. I think I have the CDs 10s for the set. That's actually a pretty good deal. Kerry Von Erich was awesome. The Simpsons, what? I guess I missed it. And then let's see. Joe wanted to know, this is a good question. Gary said, what are some of your favorite concerts that you've been to over the years?
Oh man, there's been so many. So I got to see I think one of the very last shows back in '97 that NXS was at, and they did a festival here called Edge Fest. It's no longer around, but I got to see NXS like right after the Elegantly Wasted album came out. That was a fantastic show. I didn't know what to expect going in there, but Michael Hutchins, he was a great front man, dude, and he had like all the beautiful women on the stage with him and everything, and all the guys in the band behind him just tearing it up. White Zombie back in the day used to scare the crap out of me. Those guys were great. I'm also a big I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah, Pantera.
Yeah, I'm a Pantera fan. I live right around the corner from where Dime and Vinny are buried. I actually have an autographed pass. I got invited to their CD release party in 2000, and I've got Dime's signature on it. I've got Vinny's, and I've got Phil's on it. So that's probably the most collectible thing that I have.
That's awesome.
Garbage in concert has always been great.
Yeah.
Let me think here. Depeche Mode in 2001, whenever I first saw them, they were absolutely fantastic, man. Absolutely fantastic. So those are just a few just a few. Everclear has always been great, always been a great show. But one of my favorites, man, the Toadies. They are
Oh,
from here
really?
every time, dude. Every time, dude, they tear down the house here in the DFW area, man. The Toadies, they had more than just one song in the '90s. I'm telling you.
I
A
thought
lot
you were
of
going
the
to say
songs.
Chumbawamba.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I love the Toadies too. That's awesome. That's a yeah. You and how old are you? Are you 40s, mid 40s?
45.
Okay, yeah. I'll be 45 this year. I was gonna say we have to be around the same age because
Yeah.
you're like naming all the bands I listened to throughout the like 90s,
Yeah.
early, late 80s. So I figured we had to be this. And then Mike said, I don't know how he is it Hunsey rocked it. And he said he saw NXS in Philadelphia in 1988. Now that would have been cool. That was also at their pinnacle. I think 88 was still big. They were huge then.
Especially with the Kick album being released in '87.
Yeah, that would have been a hell of a concert to hit up. I know, my gosh, I bet it was a madhouse.
Yep.
Yeah, that's cool. The music I listened to, even though I love the music that we're talking about, I never went to those shows. I always went to a lot of like when I was growing up, it was like punk rock and hardcore shows.
Yeah.
But I never went to like a lot of the more like radio friendly MTV fare.
Right.
So, but I mean, I love that music. I just never went to the shows. I was like just a poor kid. I couldn't afford all that stuff.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like I was working in a grocery store when a lot of these bands were coming around, and luckily I worked with some guys that we all, one of the guys was in a band, and he still plays to this day with other bands around here. But we went and saw the Toadies together. Saw Everclear playing. Actually, it was at a place right down the road. Radio station was doing a thing where if you showed your tickets for the Toadies, Bush and Hum that night, great lineup.
That is a heck of a lineup. You're right.
So if you showed your ticket stub at this place called Fatso's that was down the road, the radio station would give you a free Bush T-shirt, and it was the one that kind of looked like the MASH symbol.
Oh yeah.
That. But in between, it was the pot leaves instead of the
right. That's a shocker.
Yeah, but at that time, while that was going on, there was a little unknown band that was playing there that was also playing that night with a band called Filter, and that band was Everclear.
Hey man, nice shot, dude.
Yeah, yep.
And I love Filter. That Demon Night soundtrack, and like they came out like 94 or 5.
Yep.
Man, I love that. I love that soundtrack, and that was the first one. I think that's when I first heard Filter, and then they got really big on like Alternative Nation or whatever. And I used to listen to all their stuff.
Yeah, dude, they were great, and I think my favorite record by them is from the 1999 album, Title of Record. Man, every song on that album just still holds up to this day for me, man. Just you got that little bit of angst, man. You can just put that album on.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm gonna track it down.
Henry S is in the house. What is he saying?
Yeah, Henry said you guys missed the Salem Chamber Orchestra at the library playing Mozart. Yeah, I guess we didn't quite make it out to that one.
Is that the band that was Taste My Honey Sauce?
That's what I'm thinking. He said Johnny Rott's in it. So, oh gosh, Henry.
Oh,
dude, I always count Henry to come out as something without left field, and I love it.
Oh, see, man, Henry probably knows all about Everclear since they're out of Portland.
You're right, exactly. He knows it all. I'm sure he does. Dude, he probably drinking Everclear watching them.
Dude, his channel is fun to watch.
All right. Dude, I voted for Henry during the YouTube whatever Hall of Fame thing. I was like, man, I love me some Henry, dude. Yeah, I don't keep up like religiously. I watch his videos like in spurts to get caught up.
Yeah.
And everyone is like, dude, this is stuff he talks about. I mean, I just love it. Like he talks about so many things that no one else is talking about. What was that?
And he puts effort into it, like on a 1994 computer.
I love the fact that he puts all those kind of bumpers in the front and the back end of his videos.
Yes.
And it's like the PBS channel stuff, like the little sound clips. I mean, dude, it makes me literally Henry's channel every time I'm watching it. I honestly go back to like 8-year-old Jason watching like public or PBS stuff because those like little commercials or little clips. I'm like, I remember those sounds. I remember these little images. So yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, it takes me back, man.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, don't ever change Henry, no matter
Yeah,
what, bud.
man. It's just so funny, man. So refreshing too, because it's like, you'll see some of these videos that are coming up in your feed, and you're like, do I really want to watch this? And then you'll see a Henry S video come up, and you're like, let's see what
Yeah,
Henry found at Goodwill today.
yeah, because Henry's going to talk about something that no one else is talking about. Let's be honest.
Exactly. Or he's going to
You're
show you like some astronauts and stuff that he got through the mail, or like some weird coins that he found. It's like,
right.
oh, and now postcards and this and that, and dude, it's just so interesting. Like I thought I was pretty diverse with cards and music and stupid random action figures and stuff. Henry takes it up a notch, man.
Well, it's funny because unless you really keep a track of what Henry's into or collecting, he'll sometimes throw like these curveballs because he'll say something like, "Oh, I have this card from the Steve Austin million dollar or whatever $1 million cards that I need from the 1970s," and he'll be like, "Oh, I got this Dukes of Hazzard 64. I needed to get for this," and then he'll like, "Oh, here's a couple cards from the Partridge Family," and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, how many sets are you working on, dude? Like, it's just like nonstop.
My other favorite one was whenever he was showing off like some James Bond autograph cards, and he's like, "Oh, this one was in Dr. Octopussy, and she's no longer with us."
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I'm just gonna highlight that. I'm just gonna highlight that for us, Henry. I don't want to get caught saying that on the thing. So God forbid if something happens, I end up getting canceled or something. So I don't want to take any chances. So anyway, that's hilarious.
I hope it was entertaining.
No, it was most definitely. So
I got another couple of pictures I was going to show.
That's Shinsuke Nakamura.
Shinsuke, and then man, so they did a TNA show here several years back, and the only person I got to sign it was right here. It's Tommy Dreamer.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I would have been able to make out that one. It was funny. Like he got himself in some trouble last year, but then he got back out of it. So that's good.
Yeah. The funny thing is that a few years back, I think I had messaged him on Twitter, and I was like, "Hey, man, I just want to tell you, I got a chance to meet you at the Slammiversary show in Arlington, Texas, and you were cool, man. You came up the ramp, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I remember that." That's whenever he lost the rental car keys that he was at, and he was trying to find them. So that's the only reason why I got to meet him, is because he was going into the parking lot, walking up the ramp to go to the parking lot to try and find where his keys were and stuff like that.
That's like such like a normal person situation.
Like, dude, totally. But he remembered it very well, which was just like, dude, that's awesome, man.
That is awesome, dude. Yes. You're like, I'm the guy that stole your keys.
Exactly. Or, I could just imagine the scenario of like how they got lost,
Right.
Did they get lost in a jelly donut, or,
Sabu got them.
Where's there some shenanigans going on backstage?
Exactly. Exactly. That's awesome. Now, I want to respect your time. I know you mentioned before you might not be able to stay on super long. Are you okay? Or do you got to get going?
I got about, let me see here. I got about 5 more minutes. If that's cool. And,
all right. I just want to make sure, because I know you mentioned earlier that you couldn't be on too awful long.
Yeah. Let me see here. So I'm just a nerd, dude. Like, I collect vinyl records and everything. So, shoot, here we go. Oh man, so I guess a while back. This is funny. So my wife, she works at the airport here, and I want to say it was the week of the WrestleMania when they were first doing the WrestleMania here. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Tito Santana, the East Texas Slayer. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought you liked that. And I think you probably heard of this guy before too.
That he looks very familiar. Who? What?
Yeah,
I can't read the name.
and that's Daniel Bryan, Brian
Oh,
Danielson.
okay. Yeah, I know who that guy is.
Yeah, he's kind of popular.
Yeah, he had, man. In my opinion, he had the coolest WWE Championship belt.
Yeah. Yeah. What is
Well,
it? What did Henry say? He lost his budget rent a car keys. Yes, he did.
yeah,
Yes, apparently he did. That probably was not a good moment in his life. I'm sure.
yeah, yeah.
Henry
So,
wanted to know: is your wife TSA?
no, she is not. She
Okay.
is a bartender, and that week of WrestleMania that came, somebody showed up in her bar, and she got to serve this person, and she didn't ask for an autograph, but she did ask. She said, "My husband's a huge fan. Is it cool if I get a picture?" And he said, "Yes,
Oh,
yes."
was it Vincent Kennedy
Yeah.
McMahon? Hold on, I gotta get this closer. Give me 1 second.
Yeah,
Oh, that is that Matt Hardy?
yeah,
Nice.
but
That is awesome. I want to meet Matt Hardy so bad. He looks like he'd be such a cool guy too.
yeah.
I
The,
mean,
the thing that made it really cool for me is he's wearing a Public Enemy shirt.
yes, he's when I saw that, I was like, look at him, dude. He knows what's up.
Yep. Another guy I got a while back, TTM, Bill Mercer. He was an announcer for World Class Championship Wrestling.
Uh-huh.
He's on the back of the picture. That's
Yeah.
him interviewing Terry Gordy.
Terry,
He,
yeah, he was gonna say.
he was also on the radio, WBAP, back in the 60s, and was one of the first people to announce that JFK had been shot.
Yeah, I think I've heard something about that. Maybe I
Yeah.
caught that somewhere. Do you ever watch that YouTube channel, like original documentaries or something, like original something docs, and it's all about wrestling, and he does like goes through like
Oh,
the history of wrestling for like a 30-minute video
no,
of
I've
each
seen
territory.
the Dark Side of the Ring or whatever.
Yeah, it's kind of like that, but he did it first, and then they took his idea and then they turned it into like a TV show on Vice. It's called the history of the territories or something. Oh, there's Orange
Okay.
Cassidy.
Yeah. Got him to sign TTM before I guess they stopped doing it there.
Did you meet Danhausen?
No. That dude is so, I don't know. There's something very odd about that guy.
Yeah, very. I want to meet Ethan Page also. Julian, I want to meet him. He's another one I want to meet. He's another guy I'm like a big fan of. He's Samoa Joe.
Yep.
I
And
like
then,
Samoa Joe, dude. I didn't know much about Samoa Joe before he came to AEW. Obviously, I
oh,
knew he was in
really?
Ring of Honor. Well, there's Lance Archer too.
Yep.
Nice.
Oh, man. Let me see. What else I got. Uh, oh, man. You know what? I never really get to show this off. So I'm going to show it
All
to you
right.
guys. So,
Remember to keep this PG.
oh, yeah.
I'm just joking.
Okay. Well, I honestly had to make sure there wasn't any nudity in the background because
Oh, okay. I thought you were. I was just
because
joking.
of where this picture was taken.
Oh, okay.
So I'm a big Pantera fan, and that was
Nice.
I got to meet Dimebag.
I was saying, I thought it looked like Dimebag.
Yeah.
I remember when a dime bag used to cost a dime.
Yep. 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 So dude, that's whenever I had that was in 2000.
I was
So
just
I
saying, you
had
look pretty young there. You're like just a kid.
the blonde highlights and the earrings and
Oh, look at you. Yeah, I got some.
man.
I
Yeah.
actually pull a picture of me back in the 90s. I had gauges and bleach blonde hair, and I
Oh
was wearing all my
wow.
punk rock shirts. Yeah, I was skateboarding all over Southern Indiana, Kentucky. Yeah, it was like a
Okay.
thing.
So you were kind of an outlaw, huh?
Yeah, my son's like, "Who is that?" And I go, "That's me." He was just like, "That can't be you. You're too much of a nerd."
Right.
Like back then, though. Oh yeah, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Henry was it True Blood?
There's me and Butch Vig.
Butch.
Garbage. Let's see here. Oh yeah, you'll love this. I know you will love these.
Oh, that's Oscar right there, man. Yeah, she's a hottie. Oh my gosh, yeah. I'm hoping she leaves or WWE and comes to AEW at some point. Oh,
Yeah.
there's the Hulkster. Is that Hulkster?
Yeah, back in the AWA days.
AWA days, yeah. That when was it Gagne was screwing him over nonstop.
Yep. Speaking of
Yeah,
Gagne, there's his son that signed
yeah,
on.
Greg Gagne, yeah.
And
That guy would have so much pride. He just would not admit that he screwed up with Hogan
of
by
course.
by refusing to give him the belt and keeping it on him and kept giving it back to Bockwinkel.
Oh yeah, because it drew money, man, and they did what 4 big shows a year there in
Yeah.
Minnesota. So he was trying to get it as much as he was trying to milk it for all it was worth. This one is signed by Larry the Axe Hennig.
Oh, Larry, Kurt, Mr. Perfect's dad.
Yep.
Nice.
There's
Oh,
a
there
little
is.
picture of Kevin back in the
Which
day.
Von Erich is that?
Kevin.
Kevin. Henry goes, "You never had a dime bag, dude. Maybe some leftover Cheetos. Come on, Henry. Why you gotta talk to me? Why you gotta speak the truth?"
And that's my buddy in the middle that's getting inducted.
That's awesome. Is that for NWA? What is that for?
This is for a IHWE show.
Okay.
I always tried to get like all the flyers and stuff that he was on,
Oh, sure.
but I don't know if anybody else has really kind of made it that was on that show. This guy kind of is. His name is Barrett Brown, but he's been wrestling in Japan and he's okay.
Yeah.
Ricochet.
Yeah, like Ricochet. I think you mean Prince Puma.
Yeah. Right.
I love Ricochet. I wish he would come to AEW too.
Yeah.
I would love to see a Ricochet versus Ray Phoenix match.
I would love to see a Ricochet versus Zack Sabre match.
That would be also as well. Yes, that would be also a fun one.
Oh,
I'm hearing. Is it the Switchblades going to AEW or WWE?
Nice.
Switchblade Jay White. Who was that? Was that Britney Spears?
Yeah, and Sarah McLachlan.
Sarah McLachlan. That new commercial she's in about the wolves.
That's funny. That's my wife's favorite band, the Old 97s.
I don't know. I mean, the name sounds somewhat familiar, but I don't know if I know. They make it kind of big?
Yeah,
they country.
Yeah, they're kind of alternative country. If that makes sense.
That might be the reason why. I mean, like I said, they look familiar, but
right there on that ticket stub. I also got Shooter Jennings to sign that.
Shooter. Now I do know him. That's Waylon Jennings' grandson, right?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Or no, it's his son.
It's his son. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, were you a Waylon Jennings fan?
Yeah, I like Waylon Jennings. I like all that old country.
That's nice. my uncle and Waylon Jennings back in the day.
Nice. That is cool. Yeah. I like Waylon Jennings. I like Johnny Cash. I like the Traveling Wilburys.
Yeah.
You know, I like I like Chris Christopherson, all that older, kind of like that outlaw rock.
Yeah, man. It's just so weird you just mentioned Chris Christopherson. Hold on. That's so funny, man. Yeah, I used to love Conway Twitty too, man.
The Highwayman.
Yeah.
I loved all that stuff. Yeah, like I said, the real twangy country stuff, I'm not a huge fan, but like this kind of like the outlaw country, like I said, I liked a lot more.
Yeah.
I don't need that. I got a tear in my beer. Like, I don't need all that.
It's a very young photo of me and Latrell Sprewell.
Latrell Sprewell, that's legit.
Mm-hmm. He was my favorite, man.
Yeah, he was awesome. I remember him.
Yep. Here's another music one. Rod Stewart.
Did you meet him in person?
No, he was doing a residency in Las Vegas.
Oh yeah, okay.
And I sent it there, and he signed it.
Now you can do that. Now you can do that with Lady Gaga.
Yeah, here's me and my buddy in Imogen Heap. I don't know if you remember her.
Imogen, yeah, she does sound familiar. Now you said it, but I don't know how. Was she popular in the 90s?
Late 90s, early 2000s.
Okay, I mean, like I said, it sounds familiar, but
sampled her.
Yeah, I don't know.
Somebody sampled her. But there's some of my stuff from the Jim Cornette meeting.
That's awesome. Is that Stan Hansen in there?
Yeah, he was there too, but I didn't get a chance to get him to sign that picture.
I heard he was like one of the most stiff workers ever.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
I heard like you don't want to take some lariats from Stan Hansen and he would like tear you apart.
yeah, he was a legit shooter, I guess
Right.
as they call it.
Right. Yeah, he was not gonna be like in there, like in there with like a pixie dust and floating around. Like he was gonna really wrestle.
Yeah, he had a family to feed.
He ran, but his daddy was no plumber.
Right. Here's a cool one.
Oh, House of Pain. Yes.
I got DJ Lethal to sign that. Oh man, here's an oldie. Too Short in the house.
Sure. He's coming to Indiana next month. I think I'm gonna check. I'm gonna go see him.
Heck yeah.
I love Too Short. Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm a little bit nervous because it's gonna be kind of a rough crowd that's gonna go see him. So I'm like, the way the world is right now, it's like, man, I'm just gonna kind of hang in the back and just bob my head and try to stay out of any trouble. I'm gonna be like, my name is Paul, and it's between y'all. I'm just here for Too Short.
Dude, I was in that same type of situation whenever I went to go see Cannibal Corpse years ago with my brother.
Cannibal Corpse, yes.
Dude, oh my God. So it was at a place called the Galaxy Club in Dallas.
Uh-huh.
And I just turned 21. So I'm back there, I'm having a beer or whatever. Cannibal Corpse is up, and I will never forget the lead. My brother's he's younger than me. He's in the mosh pit doing his thing.
Right.
His girlfriend was around there, whatever.
Sure.
I guess his girlfriend and my girlfriend at the time went outside to go smoke a cigarette.
Right.
And I was drinking my beer, enjoying it, staying far away from this violent mosh pit thing that was going on. And I just remember the lead singer saying, "This next song is dedicated to all the ladies. It's called Effed with a Knife."
Oh, jeez.
Oh, my God. I'm like, oh, no. No. So they start playing, and it sounded like every other one of their songs. But while this is going on, all of a sudden I see this leg getting passed around, and I'm like, "What in the H?" I know I'm not tripping. Whatever. I finish my beer. I go outside, and my girlfriend and my brother's girlfriend was there, smoking a cigarette. And I sat down real quick, and I started smoking a cigarette. And I'm like, I just saw the craziest thing, man. I just saw a dude's leg getting passed around, and they're like, "Oh, whatever, that's hilarious, whatever."
Right.
And right about that time, man, that door busts open, and this dude walks out on two nubs, and he turns the corner, and I'm like, "Oh my God, like that's got to be him." He goes, "Those bastards are crazy. They done stole my legs."
I hate when my leg gets stolen out of the blue.
Oh my gosh, man! But I remember it was just like it was like I know I'm not seeing what I'm seeing.
Right. You're like, this can't be really happening right now.
Yeah. Like this is like straight out of a horror movie or something. But
right.
My brother said that months later he had seen that guy at a mall, and he went up to me and was like, "Hey man, didn't I see you at that Cannibal Corpse show in Dallas?" And the guy goes, "Yeah, man, those bastards were crazy. They stole my legs."
That is awesome. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Henry want to know if you have Richard Belzer's or John Stossel's autograph.
No.
Yeah, it's a little too late for Richard Belzer, unfortunately. We just missed the boat on that by about a week.
Yeah, poor old Dick, man.
Yeah. Well, hey, I just want to check in with you, dude. It's about we've been on here a little over an hour and a half, hour and 5 minutes. Do you gotta get going, or are you good?
Yeah, I do need to kind of get going. But hey, man,
I just want to respect your time. I appreciate it. So.
I appreciate your time, man. It was good seeing everybody. Hope y'all are well.
Thanks everybody for hanging out, and I appreciate it. We'll have to do this again here when it's convenient for you.
Sounds good, man. I enjoy these talks, man.
All right, great. Good deal, man. We'll do it again. Everybody, thanks for watching. We'll do it hopefully sooner than later.
All righty. Bye, everyone. Y'all have a good one.
You too.